You know, it feels Callaway Paradym against the Callaway FT-3, 18-year-old FT-3. So I'm going to evaluate how they look and how they look in gaming position, how they sound and how they feel when you're hitting balls with them. We're going to take a look at the cost difference. Is this new stuff really that expensive compared to days gone by? We're also going to take a look at the tech from 18 years ago to now. And most importantly, how do they actually perform? If this is the first time on my channel, welcome and consider subscribing if you don't want to miss out on great tips, reviews and course vlogs. Paradym is more modern looking. It looks bigger down by the ball. This club is a 460cc head. That's the volume. If you filled it up with water, it's 460cc. This is 450. So this is a smaller head, but it presents bigger down by the ball. So what you see from the modern clubs, and you see it in Paradym here, is it's much lower down at the back. The back end here is kind of stretched back and more down to the ground. It's like they've just squished the bigger head down. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of the numbers of those, because looking down at two, everyone would say that the FT looks smaller than that, but CC wise, that's not the case. Both of them have a glossy finish, very shiny. I mean, Paradym is amazing. I do love, because of this carbon body that we get on Paradym, we get kind of the port at the back, and then we get the front face as well, and this kind of suspended bit in the middle with this blue, with the carbon shining through. Like, this is really a different world in presentation compared to the days of Fusion, Big Bertha, FT-3. And what I mean by that, let's just count visible tech. Visible tech on this one, I'm counting nothing. I'm counting that you can kind of hear that it's carbon. They don't even show you that it's carbon. From here, it's like they're trying to make you think that it looks like drivers of that time, titanium, where actually it's carbon. It's like they don't want to put you off. Where Paradym is telling you it's carbon, visually, it's showing you the carbon pattern. It's got a unique crushed carbon pattern on the bottom as well. And if we do visible tech, 1, 2, 3, even on the face, they're telling you about the tech on it. So I think they both look great, but the Paradym definitely looks like something that's been perfected. And then when it comes to gaming position, like what I'm looking down at, FT-3, it appears smaller, fatter, less face down by the ball. Even the way the neck joins is so much nicer. See how this one, it kind of goes in slightly back of the leading edge, which in modern world driver ways, I would say that looks a little bit funny to some people's eyes. So how do they sound? Like Paradym sounds punchy, like solid punch straight on the end of the nose, like you get in Hollywood movies, you know, when they hit the meat and make that sound. And it sounds carbony, so it sounds not massively explosive. Where FT-3, like you can hear the carbon in it, but it's like it's trying to hang on to a titanium sound more. A fraction more like glancing blow compared to Paradym with its. And in turn, how do they feel? If I hit one towards the toe end here, like it sounds pretty solid. Obviously I feel twists and the shot doesn't go right. And then a bit more at the heel on the next one. Like it sounds pretty responsive when you do start dotting around the face. When I strike FT-3, so with a toe hit there, again, it's the same equivalent sound with each club. So I wouldn't say one feels better on mishits. Apart from the acoustic sound, they both feel good. Now, what I like to do when I'm testing these clubs is I like to capture data as I'm warming up, because this is where most of my mishits will happen. Not that I don't hit mishits when I am warm. But it gives a little bit more of an array of strikes, which might be more reflective of what you're seeing when you test your drivers. And the pattern that came out, which was super interesting, is that the FT-3 was retaining its spin, allowing it to really bat with Paradym, where I mishit shots that pull spin off the ball and Paradym was just dropping back. Now we've got full numbers at the end. Stay around for them, honestly, because they will blow your mind. But from these early numbers, from the warm-up data, from the mishits, what was clear is that there was differences in these clubs, but FT-3 early on was putting up a hell of a fight. So FT-3 came in a variation of heads. I've got the tall head, and you could have draw and neutral and fade bias. There was no changeable neck back in those days. This was a titanium face with perimeter weighting and a carbon body. So the back of it is carbon. Without doubt, FT3 was ahead of its time, and the numbers are coming. You're going to be shocked by the results of these numbers. So with its unparalleled distance, Callaway are saying, the Paradym is like where they are at, where golf construction is at the moment. So it's the industry's first 360 carbon composite body, kind of round 360 body. It's got the new jailbreak in this club as well for stability, keeping ball speeds up. Like they're trying to max ball speeds on this face and all across the face. They're using artificial intelligence to design the faces of these clubs to make them as fast and hot as possible. And it's an industry-leading forged cup face design. Again, ball speeds, ball speeds, ball speeds. It's unparalleled, is what Callaway is saying. So let's take a look at the cost of these two clubs. Now, this is a little complicated. So I bought the FT3 off a second-hand site, and it cost me £44, which is around $54. Obviously, you're getting what comes from the group you've got there. No custom fittable. I'm kind of just picking a stiff shaft as good as I can, getting a loft I want. And like the pictures in the description show you what you're getting, but you know, you're never quite sure what you're going to get. So Paradym price, £529. In dollars, I'm seeing them at around $600. But the equivalent price is $640. So what's interesting with the FT3, when it was brand new 18 years ago, that was selling for around £300, which is around 370 US dollars. Now, when I go on to the Bank of England inflation calculator, if you do then to now inflation, you work out that the clubs come in actually quite similar. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? I mean, maybe clubs have always been too expensive. So let's take a look at my better numbers. So top out, I'm at speed and I'm kind of dialed in. So total yardage, Callaway Paradym is 282 compared to 279 with FT3. So Paradym just sneaking an average. Ball speeds, this is mental. Like, this is the craziest bit for me. 163 and 163, the ball speeds are exactly the same. 18-year-old driver. They're exactly the same. The big difference is the spin model. FT3 is a high spinning club at 2.8. It would have been known as a low spinning club back in the day, where the Callaway is spinning around 2.2 average, which is right in my window, which is why it squeezes out those few more yards and gives me those longer shots, even though it gives me shorter ones as well. My top ends push on. Because again, I'm trying to get these clubs fit as well as I can for me. They're launching at around the same window to give them the best chance. So what does this all mean for you, the everyday golfer looking for the best clubs for the best price? So have new drivers really improved? Have they gotten any better? Well, I would say they have. Things I would say that are way better now is that obviously if you get a new driver, you can get it custom fit. You can get it dialed into what you want. Length, lies, loft, shafts, grips, colorways, branding, like whatever you want. There's so many options nowadays. Also, I would say the tolerances of build on mass production are just getting better and better and better as these companies work their craft out more. Are old drivers still pretty good? Well, absolutely. 18-year-old driver and the ball speeds are matching. Now, in the comments down below, let me know if you want me to take the FT3 to a master club fitter and see if I can get the shaft lengths and weights the right way, get the launches and those spins matched. Obviously, with the ball speeds being there, in theory, they're going to be very similar. If not, like the old one could go further. So I think for you, when it comes to buying a new driver, you got to work out around what you want to spend and what you want to get from your golf. For me personally, if I was taking it seriously, playing for a living, you know, like as in, or really it's my ultimate hobby, I think I would be buying new, but there are plenty of good options, bargains, great clubs in the second-hand market. You know, it feels... Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think as always. If you like the video, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Can't wait to see you in the next review.